Midland pig producers plan to build a huge pig factory farm in Foston in South Derbyshire. This is going to be a huge development on a greenfield site. The site is approximately 20 hectares, that's 49 acres or 28 football pitches. MPP continually downplay the size by quoting only the number of sows in their press releases, but in reality something like 26,000 pigs will be imprisoned here. 1,000 pigs will be sent at slaughter every week. A newly reformed Derby Animal Rights started campaigning against the pig mega factory farm back in September 2010. We took the protest to the South Derbyshire County Council in Swadlincote. Since then we've joined forces with Viva, Animal Aid, Merseyside Animal Rights, Nottingham Animal Rights and the local residents of Foston and taken the campaign to Derby, Burton-on-Trent, Matlock and Uttoxeter. Why are we so opposed to this? Factory farms are unethical. Pigs have the intelligence and self-awareness of a 3-year-old child. They enjoy playing and foraging in a natural environment, something they can't do in a concrete cell. MPP predict traditional free-range farming is likely to become a thing of the past in the next decade. Factory farms have caused serious pollution problems in the USA and Eastern Europe. They are a source of disease. Swine flu, drug-resistant E. coli and MRSA have all been found on factory farms. But don't just take our word for it. Listen to the experts in the USA where factory farming is dominant.
Imagine waking up every morning realizing that your quality of life depends on which way the wind happens to be blowing that day, whether or not you can even go outside. That's one of the reasons I went on to study agriculture and then medicine, because how we treat animals can have global public health implications. Farm animals were domesticated millennia ago, but never before like this. The industrialization of animal agriculture it represents the most profound alteration of the human-animal relationship in 10,000 years, and no surprise, they've been shown repeatedly to be breeding grounds for disease. 2005, the emergence in China of the deadliest strain ever of Streptococcus suis, causing deafness and meningitis in people handling affected pork products. And the World Health Organization blamed its emergence on factory farming. Pig factories in Malaysia birthed the Nipah virus, one of the deadliest of human pathogens, causing relapsing brain infections, killing 40% of the people that it affects, and its emergence again blamed on factory farming. In 2008, a strain of airborne Ebola virus was found in factory farm pigs in the Philippines. In 2009, MRSA, the antibiotic-resistant superbug that you heard about, now killing more people than AIDS every year in the United States, was found in 50% of the pigs tested in Iowa. Later that year, it was detected in the retail pork supply here in the United States, right off of supermarket shelves. And in 2010, the toll of the swine flu pandemic was collated. According to the Centers for Disease Control, 10,000 Americans dead, mostly young people. And these just examples from pigs, and just over the last 5 years or so, don't have time to talk about the other diseases killing people linked to factory farms, mad cow, bird flu. We are in a new age, right? It used to be, look, you don't want a factory farm disease, don't live near a factory farm, don't eat factory farm meat, but now things are different. With a disease like swine flu, it doesn't matter where you live, doesn't matter what you eat. Right? A disease can emerge in a factory farm, spread around the world in days, weeks, right? So when people learn what's going on, they're outraged, and when they are empowered to affect change, they make the right choice over and over and by a wide margin. In fact, we even went back to the state I grew up in, Arizona, and faced off head-to-head with the very factory farm which so affected my childhood. And by the citizens of that state, that factory farm was soundly defeated. When animal protection groups line up with sustainable agriculture groups and environmentalists, right, and producers and food safety organizations and religious leaders and business owners, there's nothing that we cannot achieve. Today is a historic day. PAMTA, the Preservation of Antibiotics for Medical Treatment Act, was reintroduced today by Representative Slaughter. This, most antibiotics produced in the country don't go to treat sick people. They're fed by the truckload to farm animals just to promote growth and prevent disease in such a stressful, overcrowded, unhygienic environment. This legislation to restrict the mass feeding of antibiotics to farm animals is endorsed by 377 organizations: the American Medical Association, the American Public Health Association, the American Academy of Pediatrics, and every major human medical and public health organization in the country, and only opposed by the likes of the National Chicken Council, the National Pork Producers, United Egg Producers, the American Sheep Industry Association. The contrast could not be more stark. The only reason there continues to be a debate on this issue is that the public health community is up against two of the most powerful lobbies, not just agribusiness, but also the pharmaceutical industry as well.
When we started doing this work, there were 27,500 individual family farmers, hog farmers in the state of North Carolina. Today there's 2,200 factory farms. They've been altogether replaced. 80% of those are owned or controlled by one corporation, Smithfield Foods. So you have the landscapes of America being dominated by corporate power and driving human beings. Part of their business plan is to drive human beings off those landscapes. I've always said this: we're not protecting the environment for the sake of the fishes and the birds. We protect it for our own sake, because we recognize that nature is the infrastructure of our communities, and that if we want to meet our obligation as a generation, as a civilization, as a nation, which is to create communities for our children that provide them with the same opportunities for dignity and enrichment and prosperity and good health as the communities that our parents gave us, we've got to start by protecting our environmental infrastructure, the air we breathe, the water we drink, the wildlife, the fisheries, the public lands, the commons, the commonwealth, the public trust assets. Those are things that are not susceptible to private property ownership, but by their nature are the assets of the entire community.
The following footage was taken by Animal Aid and raises the question: if Midland pig producers can't keep their current house in order, why should we trust their word on any new facility of theirs? Dead and dying piglets littering the floor is unacceptable, unhygienic, and a serious disease risk for both animals and humans.
She thinks it's great fun. She's not the only one. Carl wants to be in the 346 club. He does distribution. He's just let Bert and Latimer. Apparently they were working particularly quickly, and it's got him back to an early start on his way home to Warrington. Hurrah! And I, whoever you are, is going to pick up his son to go to the Chobham test track today to drive supercars.
Yeah.